Yo, what's going on, man? Today is March the 20th, 2023. It's your boy Chris, and this is Cashed It with Chris, NBA betting show / podcast, where we try to get ahead of these NBA lines. We had a pretty good weekend, and as always, I fail to mention sometimes. I'm a couple minutes late this morning, but I fail to mention this sometimes. The show is presented to you guys by the Basketball Forever Podcast Network. Bunch of great podcasts over there, a bunch of great guys doing different podcasts on different things. So appreciate you guys for tapping in with me early this morning. Justin, Sean, LJ, DJ, David. Let's see if we can get to some cash this morning, man. So we got a 6-game card for today. Yeah, 6-game card for today. Just want to make sure. And I got a couple looks that I like, man. Got a couple looks that I like that I want to share with you guys. I broke these games down yesterday. Um, Weekend plays, as I typically do, a recap. Weekend, I went 2-2. I don't have a banner, but I don't have the banner ready. But I did go 2-2 over the weekend. Yesterday, I didn't share anything. Just kind of chilled out and relaxed with the fam, enjoy it. A reset. And then on Saturday, I did give out 4 plays in the chalkboard community group that I have, and those 4 plays went 2-2. So 2-2 weekend, not the greatest. Friday wasn't too bad. Um, I can't remember what I did on Friday either. Let's see. Friday, I feel like Friday was another split day. Let me check real quick. So 2-2 on those plays on Saturday. Friday was 2-2 as well. Cavs minus the 5.5 was the best bet of the day. Trae Young to go over his 11.5 assists. Philly and Charlotte to go over 227 did not cash because Charlotte didn't score any points. I think they scored like 33 points in the second half. And Minnesota and San Antonio under 234 was going to cash, but the game ended up going to overtime. So um, not the greatest weekend. I mean, not the greatest Friday, but also not the worst either. So could always get a little better, could always get a little worse. Let's uh let's talk. Let me just make sure I'm still okay over here on YouTube. Okay. Yeah. Let's talk about the games for today though, as you guys join in. So first game I want to talk about, I want to kind of give you guys some insight on this game. Probably a game I'm not really playing, but this Charlotte, this Indiana and Charlotte game. So it looks like the line opened at 2.5 points in favor of the Indiana Pacers as road favorites today, which is crazy that they opened at a 2.5 point dog when you think about how poor they played, especially without Tyrese Halliburton. And I know they're playing against the Charlotte Hornets, so you know it's probably weird for the books to try to figure out where they're gonna set the line. But the Indiana Pacers are they're not a good team without Tyrese Halliburton. So set the stage. Pacers are um, they'll Chris Duarte is listed as questionable. So is Benedict Mathurin. Tyrese Halliburton, like I say, he's out. The Pacers are only 4-13 straight up, 5-12 against the spread without Halliburton this season, including 3-9 straight up and against the spread without Halliburton in road games as well. You look at this Hornets team; they are 0-4 in their last 4 games, just straight up 1-3 against the spread in those last 4 meetings as well. And both of these teams are coming off getting smacked up by the Philadelphia 76ers. The Hornets on one hand lost by 39 to the 76ers in their fourth game of a 5-game homestand. So this will be their fifth and final game of a 5-game homestand. Um, and the Pacers also lost. They lost by 20, I think, 20, 21 points the other day as well. So this game, it's Hornets or nothing for me, just based on how bad the Pacers defense is. They rank 29th defensively, 29th defensive efficiency rating in the last 5 games. And at least the Hornets do play a little bit of defense. And I can't trust the Pacers without Tyrese Halliburton. So in this game, it'd be Hornets or nothing for me. And I do agree with the movement. I do agree with the line movement coming down. I don't think you can favor Pacers by 2.5 points without Tyrese Halliburton on the road, especially when Charlotte's the better defensive team. So if I'm playing this game, I'm only taking the points with the home dog in this one. It feels like a winnable game for both teams. Indiana is not, 100% out of the playoff picture. Charlotte is, but if Charlotte wanted to win this game and they played hard, they could win this game. So I can't back the Pacers right now. Cannot back the Pacers with just how bad their defense is. They're giving up points to everybody. Defense bleeding points. So those are my thoughts on the first game. And I don't have banners either. So you guys gotta. I apologize for that. Let's get on to the second game, though. I'll go back in and break these down by chapters if you guys are watching on YouTube. Bulls and the Sixers is the next game that I want to touch on real quick. So let me get to the comment section too. Let's see. So Bulls and the 76ers is the next game. Like I mentioned, I wanted to touch on. So Chicago going to the 76ers today. On the Bulls side, you got Javonte Green listed as questionable. Caruso is also listed as questionable in this game. And then on the 76ers side, you got PJ Tucker listed as questionable. James Harden did take the night off on Friday. What was that? On Saturday against the Indiana Pacers. He should be back for this game. Tyrese Maxey stepped up, played really, really well in his absence. It's a game where, to me, it kind of feels like, the Bulls have been playing well. They got the double overtime win on Friday against the Minnesota Timberwolves, which is crazy. And then they followed that win up with with another win over the Miami Heat on Saturday. But now you're running into a buzzsaw with the 76ers. The Sixers are the way I would look in this game. I haven't played it yet. I do see the spread move in their favor. When I capped it last night, it was 7.5. It's already up to 8 on Caesars, but there's some couple 7.5s already. And I'll tell you the reasons why. So 76ers, this is the most important stat in my estimation because they play so well in this spot. The last time these two teams played, the Bulls actually beat the 76ers, and I think they beat them in Philly without Joel Embiid. The Sixers, they're 9-0 straight up and against the spread, revenge of same season losses this season. They're winning those games by average of 12 points, 117 to 105. So for whatever reason, when they're playing against a team that beat them already this season, they take those games extremely seriously, and they crush their opponents in the next one. The last time this happened was two Sundays ago. Not this Sunday that just passed, but not yesterday, but Sunday before. Sixers got the Wizards at home, and they beat the Wizards 112 to 93. And before that, it was the Grizzlies. They beat the Grizzlies 110 to 105. 110 to 105. That was the game after All-Star break. Same thing with the Cavs, the Rockets, the Knicks, the Magic. So I think that's an important stat. Also, you just look at the 76ers post All-Star break. This team is 10-3 straight up, winning games by average of 10 points. They're 8-5 against the spread, but they're winning 120 to 110. And it's 4 straight wins in a row, 4 straight covers, five out of the last 6. And they have something to play for. I don't know if people know, but the 76ers are slowly approaching the Boston Celtics, who seem to be, just kind of fumbling the bag. This team was ranked first throughout the majority of the season. The Bucks win yesterday. The Celtics lost, of course, to the Utah Jazz, and now you got Philadelphia 76ers right on their heels as well. So a couple more things I wanted to share with you guys. So another thing I looked at was home favorites playing in their third game in 4 nights, facing an opponent that's also playing their third game in 4 nights. Since January of this year, so since the start of the calendar year, those teams are 19-0 straight up, 15-4 against the spread. Very, very, very supportive trend. 15-4 against the spread is 78.9% says to take the home favorite in those matchups where you have a team that's where both teams are playing on their third game in 4 nights. Also, fourth game in 6 nights. So 2 teams both playing fourth game in 6 nights. Home favorites in that situation are 19-0 straight up, 15-4 against the spread, winning those games by average of 14 points. The Bulls got a lot to play for, but the 76ers do as well. So to me, it's a spot where I'm only looking towards taking the 76ers. If you add that road dogs are coming off, one more. If you road dogs coming off a double overtime game and then a win as a dog dating back all the way to January 23rd, 2006. They're only 5-12 against the spread. 70% fade of the Chicago Bulls tonight as well. And I think that's why we see the line moving. If I'm playing this game, I'm only taking the Sixers and I'm laying the points with them minus the 7.5. All right, so that's one game I wanted to talk about. I'm moving slow. Let me get to another one. So Timberwolves and Knicks. I see somebody talking about this one in the chat already. Um, Timberwolves and the Knicks. So you got the Timberwolves. Dang, I didn't realize the line move. Timberwolves and the Knicks. When I capped it last night, it was 7.5 in favor of the home team, the Knicks, and now the line's already up to 8.5. If you want it, try to get on it early. The total in this one is dropping. It looks like it opened at 230. It's down to 227. 228.5 is available at WinBet if you guys have access to that. Always check and make sure you guys are getting the best line. But this one, Timberwolves have Rudy Gobert and Anthony Edwards listed as questionable. We know Anthony Edwards left the game on Friday in a walking boot after he rolled his ankle pretty badly against the Chicago Bulls in the first quarter in that game. He was in a walking boot in Toronto, and they said that he's listed as day-to-day. I just don't see him playing in this game. If he is going to play, he's not going to be 100%. The Knicks coming off on the Knicks side, they got Jalen Brunson back, and they coming off a big win against the Nuggets on Sunday, so they're at home rested. Not the greatest spot for the Timberwolves in this one. If I'm playing this game, we got to look towards the Knicks in the first quarter. The first quarter lines, let's see if they're out already. I was looking at. We don't have first quarter half lines yet, but it should. So the line's 4. It should be. It should. I mean, the line is 8.5. This one should open at about 4.5. And that's the play, right? Knicks first half. Knicks have been home favors at 6 points or more 9 times this season. In those 9 games, they win the first quarter by 6 points. They win the second quarter by 6 points. So across 9 home games where there's 6-point favors and more, they're winning the first half by 12 points. The Knicks have also played 5 games at home post All-Star break, and they're outscoring their opponents by 11 points in the first quarter and by 3 in the second quarter. So they've it's crazy to think, but in 5 home games post All-Star break, this team is winning by 14 points at halftime. So it's Knicks first half or nothing for me in this one. They also 4-1 against the spread, winning the full game by an average of 12 points. But we know with the Knicks, you typically want to get in and get out. I couldn't talk anybody off playing the full game, the full game, but I like the Knicks in the first quarter. I like the Knicks in the first quarter a lot. Also, I looked at no. Those are the key points that I wanted to mention on that game. I do like the Knicks first half, probably the best play of the day. With the money coming in, I think Anthony Edwards could be ruled out. I know the Timberwolves are a scrappy team. I know that they can play well early also, but I do think the Knicks are the right side in this one. So that's what I got for you guys there. Let's see. Last game I want to touch on real quick. Another spot that I really, really like a lot. And that's going to be the Kings and the Jazz, right? So line in this one opened at wow, I see it coming. The line's actually being made available now. It looks like 5 are there. Looks like 5s are out there. But last night when I capped it, it was 6.5. It was 6.5 last night for the Sacramento Kings as a road favorite in this game. It looks like some 5s are out there. Bet Online has a 5. Bookmaker has a 5. DraftKings 5.5. Caesar 6. Total in this one open at 238.5. It's down to 236 on some books. It's 237.5. So it looks like this line is the one that's actually being made available right now. And that's probably a good time to play it if you guys are interested in this game. Because the bookmakers don't know exactly what to set it at. I'll tell you guys what I did or what I'm going to do. Line that actually isn't available. So the Kings did list Kevin Huerter as questionable for this game. Not 100% sure if he's going to play or not. To me, I don't really care. It's not that big of a deal. I feel like this team has, a lot of offense even without Kevin Huerter, and Kevin Huerter can't guard anybody. So he doesn't make that much of an impact on the defensive side anyway. They got Terrence Davis who came in off the bench and filled it up. And some more defensive-minded type guys as well. On the opposite side, for the Jazz, Lauri Markkanen is listed as questionable in this game, and Jordan Clarkson has already been ruled out. So I'll tell you guys something that I've noticed. What I've noticed is Justin said Sabonis props. Could not talk you off Sabonis props. I think I looked at his rebounds plus assists last night. It was 20.5, something that he's cleared in like 5 of the last 7 games. Walker Kessler going to have his hands full tonight. He's going to have his hands full tonight for sure. And we know one thing about the Jazz is they typically give up a lot of points in the paint. And that's what Sabonis like to do his work from. So couldn't talk you off of that, off Sabonis props at all, Justin. I did look at Sabonis as well. But the thing that I've noticed, and you guys go back and double check me if you like, the Jazz really struggle out the gate of games. I'm not 100% sure why. This team had 3 days rest on Saturday night, 4 days rest on Saturday night, coming off that road trip where they lost to the Miami Heat. I think it was real earlier in the week. Playing against the Boston Celtics team that was on the second leg of a back-to-back. And they just always fall behind. I'm not 100% sure why. Their offense comes out stagnant. It seems like every single game. And it's just been a spot that I've been fading them in throughout the entirety of the season. So Kings first quarter, first half is the top play in this game, in my estimation. You look at this Kings team, they have the highest offensive rating in the first half since the All-Star break. You look at the Jazz, they rank 26 defensively in the last 5 in the first quarter in the last 5 games. In 4 home games post All-Star break, the Jazz are also allowing 31.5 points and only scoring 26.5 points. 26.5 points in today's NBA in any quarter is crazy. But in the first quarter, when you're the freshest, it really doesn't make a lot of sense. The 5-point differential between the 31.5 and the 26.5 that they're scoring is one of the biggest of any team, of course. So since the All-Star break, a couple other things. The Kings they are +9 in the first half. So typically Kings are winning by 10 points in the first half. You look at the Jazz team, and that +9 in the first half, I think, is the biggest differential as well. You look at this Jazz team, they're a -9 in the first half. So they have the biggest deficit that they have to overcome in the second half. You also look at the effective field goal percentages. Like I said, I'm not 100% sure why. The Jazz have been just starting games really slow. Jazz have a 49.7 effective field goal percentage in the first half, post All-Star break, which ranks dead last. Opposite, the Kings, 61.4% effective field goal percentage. Guess where they rank? First, right? So this is the play that correlates extremely well, because you get the Jazz, who typically struggle out the gate, and you get the Kings. We know the Kings have, like I said, the number 1 effective field goal percentage. They're the number 1 scoring team in the first half as well, post All-Star break. So to me, it's a simple one. I'm taking the Kings first quarter. I'm taking the Kings first half as well. And like I said, those numbers aren't available yet. At least when I look, I don't see them available on any of my sports books. I tried to play it last night. I couldn't find the line, but I will be taking the Kings first quarter. I will be taking the Kings first half as well on the spread. The Kings do have so this will be the last game for them on the road trip. This team is 7-0, crazy enough, because nobody seems like can win on the road, but the Kings are 7-0 straight up and against the spread in their last 7 road games. That's a crazy out, because they've actually been getting it done. They're really trying to win these games, every single one of them. We saw what they did on the East Coast road trip. Now they're back out west, and this will be their last game before they do host the Boston Celtics tomorrow. So slight look ahead spot. I don't think that it really matters though. And I also think that the Jazz, while they still are winning some games, they beat the Boston Celtics the other day. I do think that the Kings just have too much offense for them. Especially based on their current roster. If Lauri Markkanen somehow gets ruled out for this game, I'm not 100% sure if he's going to play. I know he finished the last game, but if Lauri Markkanen somehow doesn't play in this game, this line will shoot up, just so you guys know. Looks like it's actually coming down to 5, so maybe you wait and get the best number. If it's 5, the first quarter will probably be, if the game closes at 5, the first quarter will probably be 1.5, and the first half will probably be 2.5, probably 3 is what you'd be laying with the Sacramento Kings. And I feel comfortable doing both. On the Sacramento side, this is the latest game of the day, so I couldn't talk you guys off waiting. But I do think the game goes under. 238.5 is a high total, and Utah typically picks up the defense in the second half. Sacramento also on the first leg of a back-to-back. They will save some for the Boston Celtics tomorrow. I think I looked at Sacramento on the road in the first game of a back-to-back. They're 5-1 to the under in that spot. So that's what I got for you guys there. Corey B said first quarter match winner for the Kings is plus 105 on FanDuel. I couldn't talk you off of that, Corey. I think that they should win the game today. But the Utah Jazz have a thing where they really enjoy coming back late in games. So second half should be I do think that they win, like I said, but the second half tends to fade to the Utah Jazz side. So that's what I got for you guys. Real quick, I'm gonna create a banner. If you guys wouldn't mind, 58 people watching live with me. If you guys wouldn't mind, hit the like button for me. Show the show some support. Also, 10 minutes after the show's over, it will be available on all podcast streaming platforms. Check me out on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify Podcasts as well. And leave your boy a review over there also. So if I got best for the day, I am looking at Kings first quarter, like I just told you guys. I'm also looking at Kings first half, like I told you guys, and I know that they play tomorrow. Like I said, I know they got a good big game against the Knicks tomorrow. Against the Celtics tomorrow, but I'm cool with that. I'm also looking at Knicks first half. I think Knicks first half is the right spot, right side in this one. So these would be my best bets, and a lot of them aren't available yet, but they are at the bottom of the screen. Kings first quarter, Kings first half, Knicks first half on the spread. All of those are spread plays. Like I said, Kings first quarter should be minus 1.5. Kings first half might be able to get a minus 2.5, and then the Knicks, excuse me, Knicks first half as well should be a minus 4 when it becomes available. Those will be the top looks of the day for you guys. As always, I will be back at 5:30 Eastern time for the for the Crispy Captain NBA show. Where I'll be live on Twitter and live on YouTube as well. And best of luck to you guys on all your action today. Hope everybody has a very great day. Appreciate you guys for tapping in with me early this morning, man. Best of luck to you guys today. I'm out.